Hey guys, welcome to this video where I'll be showing you exactly how to install custom metrics that you'll need in order to build out a few of the really crucial pre-purchase flows within Klaviyo. So the metrics that I'm talking about right here are the, let me just show you right here, are the active on site metric, the added to cart metric, and also more importantly, the viewed product metric as well. And they're all really easy to set up, except the add to cart metric, which has a slight caveat. I'm going to demo all variations of that in this video, so don't worry, we're going to cover everything. Let's jump into it. So when it comes to the order in which you need to install them in, is going to be active on site first, and then viewed product, and then lastly added to cart metric. So active on site should by default, in theory, be already installed if you go through the Klaviyo setup correctly. But just in case you didn't do it, first of all, you want to go to your integration section right here, and you want to hit Shopify. And within Shopify, you're going to see automatically add Klaviyo on-site JavaScript recommended. You want to make sure that that is ticked 100%. And once that is ticked, then we can go and proceed to installing the secondary metrics as well. So when it comes to the Klaviyo viewed product metric, you want to go to your top right-hand corner, and then you want to go to, I'll just show you, setup web tracking right here. And within here, you're going to see that you're going to have a kind of like a JavaScript snippet, right? You want to copy this, and then you want to go over to your Shopify. Oh, oops. You want to go over to your Shopify, you want to go to your online store, and then you want to hit themes, and then you want to go to action, edit code, right? So once you're in edit code, over here, you're going to search product.liquid, right? And you're going to open this file. I've already opened this, but by default, it's not opened, which is why you need to search it. So once you're here, you want to scroll all the way down. Now, with my demo store, because of my YouTube channel, I've already demoed this in the past. But let's say I were to just remove this and copy and paste it again. You can see the code is exactly the same, right? So the reason why you want to add it to the very bottom of the file, right above the added to cart snippet, you wouldn't have that installed by default also, but you want to add it to the very bottom is because the way JavaScript is compiled is it's compiled sequentially and it's also executed sequentially as well. So all of the code above needs to be executed before the viewed product metric can be executed. And you want to hit save. And to test this, it's really easy. You want to go to your Shopify store. You want to go back to your Klaviyo account, and then you want to copy and paste the URL of your store here. So in my case, because this is a demo store, I haven't connected any particular kind of like domains to it. It would just be this one right here. You want to hit next, and it should say waiting for your data, data received. And once it says that, you want to hit continue, and you're all done when it comes to the viewed product metric. Now, lastly, when it comes to the added to cart metric, it's slightly trickier, which is why I'm going to take extra care when explaining this, because I have made YouTube tutorials on this in the past, and many people still had questions regarding this. So just to explain what the added to cart metric is, it's basically, it gives you the ability to track anyone who has added to cart on your store, where your browser has already cookied them and said that, hey, we already have this person's email, right? So the only way for you to know if someone has added to cart but just didn't, start checkout or finish the purchase is if you already have their email, which is why it's not as powerful as the abandoned checkout, right? Because abandoned checkout, you can actually collect the emails there and there. So to get this metric right here, which is by default not shown within Klaviyo, you want to first of all search up on Google how to install custom ATC metric Klaviyo. Right? I'm also going to have the article linked in the description of this tutorial, but if you want to go on Google and just search this, it works also, and then you want to hit guide to Klaviyo web tracking. And then from here, you want to go to added to cart. Oh, sorry, wrong article. You can just search Klaviyo ATC metric. This is normally what I do. And then you'll be taken to this article, right? I'm also going to have an article linked down in the description below, so you won't go to the wrong one. So once you're here, you're going to be presented with this really long and intimidating article, but essentially it's actually super, super easy, right? So there's two methods in which this added to cart metric can be installed, but both achieve the exact same result, right? So to do this, you want to first of all identify if your added to cart button can be identified through a ID, which can use the kind of like the more default method, which is the get element by ID method, which this one is honestly is like really, really easy to do. The other one would be the class notation, and this is where typically people go wrong, and I see more stores using the class notation than the ID notation nowadays. So I'm going to demo the ID notation just because that is the easiest, and then I'm going to show you how to do it via class notation. So first of all, before we even get started, we want to identify what our store actually is, right? So for example, if you need the ID snippet, then you want to go to your store, or just go to your store, and then you want to go to a product page. Any product page works, and then you want to hit add to cart, inspect element on that. So right click, inspect, and then once you're here, you're going to see this piece of JavaScript right here, right? Which basically defines what the button is. You're going to see type, you're going to see name, and then you're going to see either ARIA label or ID, and then class, etc., etc., right? So when it comes to the ID, you can see ID is here, whereas some stores, like my demo one right here, if I go to catalog and then I go into the demo product, and then I hit inspect element on the add to cart button, you're going to see the button code is type, name, ARIA label, and class, right? You can't find the ID here. So when you can find the ID, then you want to use the ID notation. When you can't find the ID, then you want to use the class notation. Really, really simple, right? So let's demo the ID notation first. So when it comes to the ID notation, you want to go to, so if your store has the ID, you want to go all the way up in the article, and you're going to find the add to cart snippet right here. And you're going to go back to your product.liquid and copy that into here. So for my demo store, because it's a class one, I'm just going to copy and paste the ID version here so that you can see it. Oops, I didn't quite get, okay. Make sure you copy the whole section, right? Copy and paste that in. And once you do this, you need to make sure that this variable right here, this parameter, matches the ID shown in your store. So for example, in the case of one of my old clients, you can see that their button ID is indeed add to cart. So you just want to copy that ID, and then you want to paste it into these quotation marks right here. You can see by default, I don't need to change anything because the ID matches, but for your store, it might be different, especially if it's custom coded, or if you use any kind of like apps for your store, for your add to cart button, like for sticky add to cart buttons, etc. So once that's done, you want to hit save on the top right hand side, and you're basically done. And I'm going to show you how to actually verify if it gets updated. But first, let me show you how to actually do this with class notation as well. So to do this with class notation, what you want to do is, first of all, again, you want to go back to your store, make sure if it's to see if it's like ID or if it's class notation. So for my demo store right here, you can see that it's class notation. But here's where most people go wrong, right? And this is where I get the most questions, is you can see in the class section, there's like, this is a pretty long string, right? So what bit do you actually need? Well, you don't need button because that's kind of like a generic thing. And then you don't need button secondary accents because it's not like a unique identifier. So generally speaking, the thing that you need is like the middle portion that looks somewhat unique. So to give you an idea of this, it would be product form cart submit, and you want to copy this. You want to go back to the article, and then you want to go to class notations right here. You want to copy this piece of JavaScript back into your store, and you're going to see the function which is get elements by class name. right? So to find the class name, you want to go back to your store, and then you're going to see class. I recommend you copy and paste it into a URL section just to make it kind of easier. And then you want to copy the relevant class name. So in this case, product form cart submit, that's the class name. You want to go back to here, and you want to just copy and paste that in here, hit submit, and you're all good to go. So once you save this, everything should work in theory. Now, if you have like a complicated customization form before someone can add to cart, then most likely you're using some type of app, and that's when things can go slightly wrong, especially with also custom coded sites. So in that case, what I would recommend you to do is either try to get support from myself. 9 out of 10 times, I would be able to just give you the fix right away. But there are situations where in the past, I've honestly just scratched my head not knowing how to actually fix this. But the solution here is, again, really simple. All you want to do is you just want to message Klaviyo support, and one of their technicians would be able to assist you with this issue. So once that's done, you want to hit save. To verify this is actually on your store, you want to go to your store and you want to hit refresh, and you want to search just like one of the lines of codes from here, right? So let's just var learn q. You're going to see that the added to cart snippet is right here. Now, I know in my code it says / Klaviyo add to cart snippet. Normally that would comment, but in this case it's not a comment because it's JavaScript and HTML. So please don't include a comment in this format at least. These comments are just for the sake of demonstrations in this video. So once that's all done, you're pretty much good to go. The last thing you need to do to verify that this is actually correctly installed is if you go to your store and then you enroll your own email into your mailing list. So sign up via either a pop-up form or whatever. And then you want to go to a product page, so Super Saiyan email hacks, and then you want to hit add to cart. And once that's added to cart, what you want to do to verify that everything is working, you want to go to your Klaviyo account, you want to search your name or whatever your email address is, and then you want to click into it. And you can see that, I viewed the product, plethora demo, compare price, Super Saiyan email hacks, and then I also added something to cart, which is Super Saiyan email hacks. So once that's all done, you basically have the added to cart metric, active on-site metric, and the view product metric all installed. Hope you found this useful. Again, you probably will go wrong, or you might go wrong with this. I've tried to be as thorough with this demonstration as possible. If you do or run into any issues, feel free to reach out to me and I'm more than happy to help. The relevant Klaviyo articles are all linked in the description. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.